Hey guys, right about now, I kind of wish I was one of those super duper organized booktubers, the kind that have scripts and they know exactly what they're going to say and they look really professional in their videos. But that's not really me. I don't think I'll ever be that person. I ramble, I talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the subject I'm supposed to be talking about. Having said that, I'm going to try really hard to keep this as brief as possible. This past Wednesday, on July 22nd, I had the opportunity to go to my very first book signing, and it was at the RWA conference, which was being held in New York City this year. And every year, when they have the conference, they started off with this Literacy for Life charity book signing. And this year, almost 500 authors were signing books. And I was somehow magically able to finagle my schedule in order for me to go. And I, first of all, have to say how incredibly fortunate I feel to have been able to go because it was an amazing experience. So I originally intended to try and vlog while I was there so you guys could see what I was seeing. Unfortunately, it ended up being a little bit too overwhelming all around for me to try and do videos. Um, but I did get some pictures with some of the people that I met, not all of them. I will include those pictures at the end of this video, so suffer through my babble until the end and you'll see me with a bunch of really amazing authors. We ended up getting into the city around 2:30. The event was supposed to start at 5:30, run from 5:30 to 7:30. And if you think that's early, there were people who got there like 9 o'clock in the morning. And it was being held at the Marriott Marquis Hotel, which is on Broadway, right in the middle of the theater district. So, as you can imagine, the traffic was insane, both coming in and then leaving the city. This whole thing was organized so well. Everybody was super nice. Some of the authors and some PR people came in and were giving us free stuff. And I mean, I got so much stuff. You'll see because I'm going to make a haul video to show you everything that I got at both at the book signing, and then I also have other books because I went a little crazy buying different series. And yeah, you'll see. You'll see. It's going to be a monster haul. It was really weird, like standing in front of the West Side Ballroom, which is where the event happened, because I could see everybody. It was like a sea of people, even before the readers, like the general public, were allowed in. It was still like a sea of people. And let me try and give you an idea of what the layout was of this place. It was insane. Like all of the so-called bigger name authors were on the perimeter, like up around the entire room. And then in the middle, everybody else was squished in like sardines at these tables, and everybody was supposed to be seated by alphabetical order based on their last name. This place was like a freaking giant maze. I got lost so many times. I felt like I was passing the same people over and over again. I didn't know where I was. Um, and yeah, I think that was part of the reason why I ended up not vlogging because, like I said, it was just extremely loud and crowded and hot and overwhelming. Um, but not to say that I didn't have fun because, oh my God, I had the best time. It was so cool. And the very first person I went to find was Tiffany Reese, who writes the original Sinners books. And I absolutely freaking love her. And after making what seemed like a very long, meandering pathway around the entire ballroom, I found her, and she was sitting there, and I don't think anybody had been at her table yet, and I turned into this major fangirl and probably made such a fool of myself. But it was worth it. She was so sweet. She was so nice, and she was so excited just to be around readers and just so appreciative of how many people came out to see everyone. And I believe the next person I saw was Sylvia Day, who wrote the Crossfire series, Bared to You, Captivated by You, Entwined with You, all of those books. And I'm pretty sure I've done a video review of at least one of those books. And she was really nice, and surprisingly didn't have very many people, at least when I was there. I should have gotten my picture taken with her. Yeah. But I was very sort of surprised, but pleasantly surprised to see that probably the person who had the second longest line, other than Nora Roberts, was Nalini Singe, who writes a series called the Side Changeling series, and as well as the Archangel series. and she's a paranormal romance author, and I have been a fan of hers for a long time. And she was one of my top 3 people that I knew I wanted to meet. And I actually waited in line for like 20 minutes to see her. She was so incredibly nice. She had, I think it was her sister and her mom helping her, and they were adorable. I mean, she looked like a knockout, but my picture with her is terrible because they put her under this ridiculously bad light, so everything looks orange, and it doesn't help the fact that she was wearing an orange dress. So I look orange, she looks orange, but I got my picture taken with her, and I got 2 books signed by her, so I'm happy. Somebody that I wasn't expecting to be there was actually there, and she wasn't expecting to be there either, and that was Cressley Cole, who's another paranormal romance author. A couple people pulled out at the last minute, and Cressley Cole, I believe, was already going to be at the conference, so they just told her she was going to be signing books, and nobody knew she was going to be there. And I found her, and nobody was at her table, and she was so nice. We had this like conversation, and she was just ridiculously sweet, and we were talking about her book, and she was telling me how she got to the hotel, and she said, "Oh, by the way, your books are downstairs. Get ready. We're going to bring you down for the signing." And she didn't even know she was going to be signing. And she is like ridiculously gorgeous as well. She could be a model. I mean, she's blonde and just beautiful. So yeah, that was it was probably the second highlight for me, was meeting her after meeting Tiffany Reese. So anyway, I lasted until about 7:15, and I pretty much I made it to like 18 or 19 authors, which was kind of impressive considering I was shooting for like 5, and also impressive considering how I kept getting lost. And on our way out of the city, there was an elderly gentleman standing on the corner wearing a female bikini that looked like it's something from the 60s. And he was just waving. He had a hat on, and he was just waving at the cars going by. And the thing that was most impressive was that, New Yorkers just walking past him like something they see every day. But anyway, so thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, leave me some love. And I will talk with you guys later. And like I said, watch for my haul video, because it's going to be a monster. And yeah, so I will talk with you later, guys. Bye.